Okay, so hear me out. What if everything we were taught about ancient history is missing one giant piece? Like, what if ancient humans, thousands of years ago, had help? Not from other humans, but from something, not from this planet. I know that sounds crazy, but stick with me, because some of the evidence is genuinely hard to explain away. Let's start with the obvious one. The Great Pyramid of Giza, built around 2560 BC, that's over 4,500 years ago. Here's what gets me, it contains over 2 million stone blocks, each one weighing between 2 to 80 tons. Some of the heaviest ones were brought from over 800 kilometers away. And they fit together so precisely that you literally cannot slide a piece of paper between them. Now the official explanation is ramps, sledges, and a lot of manpower. And sure, maybe? But here's the thing nobody mentions. We've never actually found the ramps. No drawings, no remains, nothing. And modern engineers have tried to replicate even a small section of this construction using today's technology, and it's still incredibly difficult. So how did people with no wheels, no iron tools, and no cranes do this? In 20 years, I'm not saying it was definitely aliens, but I'm saying someone needs to give me a better answer. Now if the pyramids are suspicious, Puma Punku is just straight up baffling. It's an ancient site in Bolivia, dating back to at least 500 AD, some researchers say much older. The stones here aren't just big, they're machined. Like, perfectly flat surfaces. Perfectly angled cuts. Perfectly drilled holes of identical size. These are H-shaped blocks that interlock with each other like Lego pieces. The thing is, the tools needed to make cuts this precise didn't exist until the modern industrial era. We're talking diamond-tipped drill bits and laser-guided cutting equipment. So what exactly were ancient Bolivians using? The local Aymara people themselves have a legend that says Puma Punku wasn't built by humans at all, it was built in a single night, by the gods. But okay, maybe ancient humans were just really skilled. Fair enough. Then explain this. Cave paintings in Charama, India, dating back 10,000 years, show figures wearing what look exactly like spacesuits, with round helmets, and disc-shaped objects flying in the sky behind them. The Nazca Lines in Peru, massive drawings carved into the desert floor, so large they can only be seen properly from the air. Why would you make art that only makes sense from hundreds of meters above the ground? Unless you expected someone up there to see it. And then there's the Egyptian helicopter hieroglyphs, carvings inside the temple of Seti I that look unmistakably like a helicopter, a submarine, and what appears to be a flying saucer. Egyptologists say it's just overlapping carvings that create an illusion, maybe? But once you see it, you really can't unsee it. Here's one that hits different if you're from India. Ancient Sanskrit texts, the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, the Vaimanika Shastra, describe flying vehicles called Vimanas in extraordinary detail. Not just flying chariots in a vague mythological sense, actual technical descriptions. Different types, different fuel sources, different speeds, weapons that sound eerily like missiles and nuclear devices. The Mahabharata describes a weapon called the Brahmastra. When fired, it creates a blinding flash, extreme heat, a massive shockwave, and causes the survivor's hair and nails to fall out. That is a textbook description of a nuclear explosion and radiation sickness, written thousands of years before nuclear weapons existed. Now you can call it coincidence or incredible imagination. But at what point does the imagination start to look like memory? And here's the question that really keeps me up at night. Human evolution has this weird gap. For millions of years, our ancestors evolved slowly, then suddenly, around 200,000 years ago, there's this explosion of intelligence, art, language, complex thinking. It happened almost overnight in evolutionary terms. Some scientists call it the Great Leap Forward. The ancient astronaut theory suggests this wasn't random, that it was triggered. That early humans were either visited, or even genetically modified, by an advanced civilization. Is that proven? No. But is it impossible? I genuinely don't know anymore. Look, I'm not here to tell you what to believe. Science is important, and a lot of these things do have conventional explanations. But the more I dig into ancient history, the more I feel like we're only seeing part of the picture. And that feeling, that we might not be alone, and might never have been, is honestly one of the most exciting thoughts I've ever had. If this made you think, drop a comment, What's the piece of ancient evidence that you find hardest to explain? And if you want more videos like this, subscribe, because we're just getting started.